Spring was in the air in the nation's capital on April 14th, 1910, and everyone was eager to take advantage by getting outdoors, even President William Howard Taft. After meeting with a group of suffragists in the morning, Taft and his wife Nellie made their way to American League Park for opening day, where Senators ace Walter Johnson was scheduled to take the hill against the Philadelphia Athletics and their stylish southpaw Eddie Plank. Johnson and Plank ultimately combined for over 700 victories in their careers, and both now have plaques in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So a pitcher's duel was anticipated by the more than 14,000 fans in attendance that day. They were not disappointed. Plank allowed only 3 runs while going the distance, but that was more than enough for Johnson, who fanned 9 Philadelphia batters and had a no-hitter going until the 7th inning, before settling for a 1-hit shutout. Yet the most memorable throw of the day was made by neither Johnson nor Plank, but came before the game from Taft himself. At the invitation of American League President Van Johnson, you see, President Taft had launched the 1910 season by tossing a ceremonial first pitch to Walter Johnson. Unlike today's ceremonial first pitches, Taft made his historic throw not from the mound, but from the front row box in which he and the First Lady were seated. Predictably, newspaper accounts differed as to the merits of Taft's efforts, with ones that generally supported the president's policies, describing it as an artistic success, while those less inclined to side with him offering less favorable assessments. In later years, a myth sprang up that the 7th inning stretch was born that day, when the president stood up and everyone felt obliged to follow suit. But that is demonstrably untrue, as the 7th inning stretch was already a well-established custom, a topic that we discuss in another lecture. Nonetheless, by becoming the first American president to throw out the first pitch on opening day, President Taft had started an enduring ritual and had helped to forge a lasting bond between the national pastime and the White House. Pundit George Will wrote dryly that Taft had started a useful tradition, which is more than can be said for most presidents. What made Taft's ceremonial first pitch particularly noteworthy is that it represented a sea change from the prior reluctance of American presidents to associate themselves with baseball. To be sure, there were some isolated exceptions, with Andrew Johnson attending an 1866 amateur ball game played near the White House, and a number of presidents taking time to greet delegations of ball players visiting the executive mansion. For that matter, an 1860 Currier and Ives lithograph depicted Abraham Lincoln and his 3 main rivals for the presidency wielding baseball bats and speaking about their political platforms using the game's distinctive, yet already widely familiar language. By and large, however, in a reflection of the country's traditionally strong work ethic, politics were seen as a weighty matter, with little room for levity. When John Quincy Adams bought a billiards table for the White House in 1825, the purchase set off a firestorm of controversy. Understandably, subsequent aspirants for the nation's highest office concluded that it would be bad for their image to associate themselves with any leisure activity, particularly a professional sport. That applied even to the ball-playing world tourists who spent 6 months acting as informal ambassadors for the national pastime following the 1888 season. Upon their return to American shores after circumnavigating the globe, they were widely feted as heroes. Yet, when they paid a visit to the White House, recently inaugurated President Benjamin Harrison was as cool as an icicle toward them. Harrison brusquely declined an invitation to watch them play, saying that he could not spare the time, and reportedly even commented that it would be beneath the dignity of the president to attend a ball game. If Harrison did indeed make that remark, his views must have softened by the end of his term, as on June 6, 1892, he became the first sitting president to attend a major league game when he was on hand for a game between Washington and Cincinnati. Soon after Harrison set that precedent, however, the nation was plunged into a lengthy economic depression, giving successor Grover Cleveland all the more reason to avoid being seen at the ballpark. William McKinley became the last president of the 19th century in 1896, but after campaigning on a pledge to bring back prosperity by restoring the gold standard, he too was careful to steer clear of anything that suggested frivolity. All in all, then, 19th century U.S. presidents and presidential candidates kept the game at arm's length, believing that an association could do them no good, and, as with John Quincy Adams and that billiards table, it might even do considerable harm. Yet it would be a mistake to assume on that basis that there was little intersection between baseball and politics. After all, presidents and other national leaders typically affect our lives in abstract ways by shaping the country's laws and legislation, but it is local politicians who determine how those abstractions will be applied to our everyday lives. And it was at the local level that the game of baseball forged its deepest bonds in the late 1800s. True, during the first half of the 1860s, baseball barely registered with most politicians. And why would it? Many Americans saw it as a fad that would soon pass, and there certainly didn't appear to be any way to make money from the game. Besides, the Civil War was at the forefront of every mind. Changes began to come when a post-war frenzy for the game made it clear that baseball was likely to remain a fixture of American life. Political insider and baseball enthusiast Arthur Pugh Gorman helped to draw those two previously unconnected worlds closer together when he assembled a powerhouse ball club called the Nationals by using Treasury Department appointments to lure gifted players to Washington. It was a similar story in many of the nation's largest cities, most notably in New York City, where machine politics already held considerable sway. The city's most successful club of the late 1860s, the Mutuals, had particularly close ties to the notorious Tammany Hall political machine. Although claims that Boss Tweed served as president of the Mutuals are untrue, club president John Wildey was a prominent Tammany Hall member who used his position as city coroner to reward gifted ball players with jobs in that office and in the street commissioner's office. As tactics of this sort revealed, by the end of the 1860s, baseball was an amateur sport in name only. The inevitable adoption of open professionalism took place in 1869, and in turn, the game rapidly acquired political overtones. In particular, since all efforts to make profits from baseball are dependent upon the availability of suitable playing sites, that issue quickly became politically charged. One of the first noteworthy instances occurred in Boston, where new rules that restricted the playing of sports on the Boston Common created so much frustration that the city's ball players decided to take action. When municipal elections were held in December of 1869, they created a red ball ticket to help elect candidates, regardless of party, who were favorably inclined to promoting the physical training of our youth and consequently the public health. Sample ballots were distributed on which a red ball appeared next to the name of the candidate endorsed by the ball players. On election day, 8 of those 12 candidates were victorious, and by the time spring rolled around, baseball was again being played on the Boston Common. As the saying goes, elections have consequences, even when it comes to baseball. In the years that followed, the stakes just kept mounting. For example, in New York City, the scarcity of land was such that even well-established local clubs like the Mutuals and the Knickerbockers moved their home fields to Hoboken, New Jersey. When the National League was founded in 1876, the Mutuals were the city's initial representative. Yet their home games were played at the Union Grounds in Brooklyn, at the time a separate and distinct city from New York. The Mutuals were bounced from the National League after a single season for failing to complete their schedule. And 6 long years passed without a major league team to represent New York City. That finally changed in 1883 when entries in both major leagues, the National League and the American Association, began playing their home games at a ballpark on 110th Street, colloquially known as the Polo Grounds. Even then, however, baseball's foothold in the city remained precarious. In order to allow the two teams, the Giants and the Metropolitans, to use the site, it had been necessary to close several major thoroughfares, so the city retained the right to void the agreement at any time. That fateful provision opened the way for city aldermen to pester the team's owners with requests for special favors, a dynamic that only intensified after the mayoral election of 1886. In that election, the Tammany machine orchestrated the candidacy of Abram Hewitt, who defeated, among others, 28-year-old Republican nominee Theodore Roosevelt. Before long, baseball and machine politics were so closely intertwined that the American Association Metropolitans gave up the pursuit for a suitable home and disbanded. As for the Giants, one season after winning the 1888 National League pennant, they were forced to play their home games at 3 different locations, including a waterlogged field on Staten Island that sometimes hosted a variety of musical and dramatic performances. This unusual arrangement made it necessary for the team's right fielder to maneuver around a stage, but it did have the advantage of giving him a dry place to stand on days when the puddles in the outfield were particularly large. Meanwhile, the graft and corruption of New York's municipal politics spread to many other cities, as did similar land shortages. An especially dramatic example took place in Chicago, where team owner Albert Goodwill Spaulding had long distributed free passes to local politicians in order to curry favor. Despite such efforts, however, the city council summarily evicted his team after the 1884 season to make room for a new railroad. By then, a new mode of transportation had begun to emerge that would transform the landscape of American cities, thereby deepening the ties between baseball and municipal politics. Horse-drawn omnibuses were already a staple of urban life, but between 1883 and 1895, they gave way to electric streetcars and trolleys with dramatic consequences. Just as the railroad had enabled Americans to travel from town to town as never before, trolley lines made it possible for them to move around in their hometown at an unprecedented pace. A crosstown trip for an evening's entertainment suddenly became feasible, and before long, urbanites began relocating to the suburbs and relying on the new modes of transportation to bring them downtown. City councils held a pivotal role in this process, since they determined who was granted the contract to build a lucrative new trolley line and which districts received an influx of new business. This latter consideration was of crucial importance to the operators of baseball teams, since attendance at sporting events is particularly dependent upon access to convenient transportation. With that in mind, many baseball clubs relocated to sites serviced by new trolley lines, and within a few years, streetcar operators had begun purchasing local ball clubs and then erecting ballparks at sites carefully chosen for the ease of bringing passengers to them. Indeed, by 1895, local papers frequently referred to Brooklyn's National League club as the Trolley Dodgers, a nickname that was later shortened to today's familiar Dodgers. Arrangements of this sort proved so remunerative that by the turn of the century they had become commonplace in major and minor league cities all across the country. Owners of baseball clubs who were not able to become traction magnates, as streetcar operators were often called, were careful to cultivate close relationships with local politicians, knowing that their decisions could make or break a ball club. As ever, New York City remained the nation's most congested metropolis, ensuring that every municipal election would be the subject of anticipation for local baseball fans. In January of 1895, the Giants were purchased by Andrew Friedman, a local businessman with impeccable Tammany Hall connections and a knack for shrewd real estate dealings. In the years that followed, Friedman showed little interest in making the Giants a better team, even allowing ace pitcher Amos Russi to sit out an entire season in a contract dispute. Friedman's political connections and background in real estate did, however, help him to ensure that the Giants remained the only team in town, which became critical when Ban Johnson's American League emerged as a challenger after the 1900 season. Johnson would have dearly loved to create additional buzz by placing a franchise in New York City. But when all efforts to identify a suitable location failed, his league's 1901 season had to be played without one. As a result, all eyes were on the municipal election slated for that November. In the first mayoral election since the 5 boroughs had combined to form Greater New York, the Republican Party and the reform-minded Citizens Union Party had jointly endorsed a so-called fusion candidate, Seth Low, in hopes of ending Tammany dominance. If Tammany wins, one reporter predicted, Friedman will be able, in all probability, to control absolutely the baseball situation in Greater New York and will be decidedly chesty in consequence. But if the fusion candidate for mayor should knock Tammany's nose out of joint, other people besides Friedman's hired men will have a show to play ball in New York, and the American League might expand in that direction. In any case, Friedman will not be dictator there and will be somewhat less liable to assume the role of emperor of the National League. New York voters did indeed elect Seth Low, who immediately went to work to fulfill his campaign promises of reducing graft and introducing a merit-based system for filling municipal positions. News of Low's election was also hailed as a harbinger of change in the baseball world, with some journalists speculating that it would bring an American League team to the city in time for the 1902 season. Another reporter maintained that the downfall of Tammany means the loss of Friedman's power in Gotham politics. With the New York political machine under his control, Friedman has been the complete master of the situation in the greatest baseball city of the country. He has used his power autocratically, and none of the other National League owners has given him any strong opposition. In fact, he has been generally recognized as the ruler of the organization. The victory of Seth Low, however, leaves him with no more power than any other one, and the turn in the affairs may even result in his ejection from the league. Not all of the predictions about how the 1901 New York mayoral election would affect the baseball world came true. Ban Johnson, for example, did not rush to place an American League team in New York. It was not until the 1903 season, after Johnson had time to line up a politically well-connected ownership group, that the team took the field. Its home games were initially played on an elevated, rocky site that had been made suitable for baseball by the use of dynamite, leading the team to be dubbed the Highlanders. Success was rare in the early years, and before long, the team began sharing the polo grounds with the Giants, earned the Yankees' nickname, and was sold to a former Tammany congressman named Jacob Rupert and partner Tillinghast Leamadou Houston, who soon created one of the greatest dynasties in all of sports. Likewise, Andrew Friedman's exit from baseball did not take place immediately. Yet in this regard, the 1901 New York mayoral election may well have had even more dramatic consequences within the baseball world than anyone anticipated. Friedman, you see, had been working on a top secret scheme that would have converted the 8-team National League into a giant baseball trust in which the owners of each existing team would receive a specific share of the profits. He had already lined up the votes of 3 other owners, so he needed only to find one more vote to potentially turn baseball into an activity in which the entertainment value rivaled or even took precedence over the competition. Instead, soon after the election setback, an intrepid reporter broke the story of Friedman's scheme. With the American public increasingly opposed to trusts of any kind, the Giants owner found himself unable to line up that all-important 5th vote. Faced with a stalemate, Friedman decided to sell the Giants, and he soon got out of baseball permanently. But matters might have ended very differently had the election turned out otherwise. In considering these developments, historian Stephen Reese has observed that it was not happenstance that every American and National League team between 1900 and 1920 had owners with important political connections, a condition undoubtedly replicated in most minor leagues as well. Political influence secured preferential treatment in municipal services, fees, and assessments. These teams provided the hometown with a prized source of civic pride and an agency for promoting a sense of community. In light of the increasingly deep bond between baseball and civic politics, the game also began to play a role on the national political scene. Pitcher John Tenner, one of the players on the World Tour team that had received such a cool reception for President Benjamin Harrison, was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1908, and 2 years later he became the governor of Pennsylvania. More generally, by the first decade of the 20th century, the national economy had rebounded, and with the scruffy reputation of professional ball players giving way to a more wholesome image, there was far less reason for American politicians to be reluctant to associate themselves with the national pastime. The stage appeared to be set for an American president to embrace baseball, and who could be better suited for that role than Theodore Roosevelt, who became president in 1901 following the assassination of William McKinley. Yet Roosevelt restricted his recreational activities to ones that embodied what he dubbed strenuous life, while denouncing less rugged activities as being suitable only for mollycoddles. When he decided not to run for re-election in 1908, he warned chosen successor William Howard Taft to exercise great care in his choice of leisure activities. It would seem incredible, counseled President Roosevelt, that anyone would care one way or the other about your playing golf. But I have received literally hundreds of letters from the West protesting it. He concluded, photographs on horseback, yes, tennis, no, and golf is fatal. Against this backdrop, it would have been understandable had Taft declined the invitation from Ban Johnson to throw out the first pitch of the 1910 season. But the president had a genuine passion for the game, telling reporters the previous year that he liked to see batters take full swings instead of bunting, while his brother Charles had acted as a silent partner in the sale of both the Cubs and the Phillies. Sensing that Americans would be pleased to know that their president shared their love of the national pastime, William Howard Taft not only made time for the game, but effectively used the event as what we would now call a photo opportunity. Not only were the next day's sports pages filled with photos of Taft's pitch, but the historic game was the first opening day to be captured in motion pictures. The following day, Taft even signed the first pitch baseball, adding the inscription to Walter Johnson with the hope that he may continue to be as formidable as in yesterday's game. With President Taft's exploits at the ballpark receiving so much attention, perhaps some of his handlers expected a public backlash like the one that had greeted John Quincy Adams' billiards table. But when none was forthcoming, Taft continued to make public comments about baseball in the years to come. He He expressed his dislike of noisy coaching tactics, asked pitcher Eddie Cicotte to show him the grip for his knuckleball, a request that was politely declined, and stated, "I like to go to baseball games for two reasons. First, because I enjoy it myself, and second, because if by the presence of the temporary chief magistrate, such a healthy amusement can be encouraged, I want to encourage it." In effect, then, with one short, unspectacular toss, Taft cemented the relationship between baseball and American politics. Since 1910, on a somewhat regular basis, presidents have ceremoniously rung in the new baseball year by throwing out the first pitch on opening day, providing official sanction to the beginning of the season. In addition, for more than a century, U.S. presidents have also taken time from their busy schedules to attend other games, from amateur sandlot contests near the White House to All-Star and World Series games. Vivid evidence of the strength of the ties between baseball and the president was provided in 1953, when newly elected President Dwight Eisenhower bypassed the opening day tradition established by Taft in order to play golf. By then, golf's constituency had expanded enough that it was no longer fatal to a president's image, as Teddy Roosevelt had maintained 45 years earlier. Nonetheless, golf was still seen by many Americans as a pastime for wealthy country club types, so Eisenhower's decision created widespread indignation. The irony of that controversy went beyond the reality that, not that long ago, American presidents had felt reluctant to express any interest in baseball. Eisenhower even told Giants great Mel Ott that around the time of Taft's historic throw, he played professional ball in Kansas under the assumed name of Wilson. Whether or not Dwight Eisenhower actually played for a semi-pro or a professional team remains another controversy that may never be definitively resolved. With baseball not yet an entirely respectable profession, many early 20th century players adopted aliases in order to protect their college eligibility or because of family objections. What can be said with certainty, however, is that both of the controversies regarding baseball and President Eisenhower are powerful illustrations of how quickly and how dramatically the public perception of baseball changed. When members of Dwight Eisenhower's generation were young men, involvement in baseball was not something to be boasted about. And indeed, in many cases, it was done in a clandestine manner. Within the span of their lifetime, however, baseball had become such a fixture of American life that even a president riding a crest of popularity could not afford to ignore its traditions. Eisenhower seems to have appreciated the irony of the situation. In 1954, he was quoted in a magazine article as wistfully recalling a boyhood fishing trip with a friend while growing up in Kansas. As they fished, according to Eisenhower, the two lads talked about what we wanted to do when we grew up. I told him that I wanted to be a real Major League Baseball player, a genuine professional like Honus Wagner. My friend said that he'd like to be president of the United States. Neither of us got our wish.
That was goofy. Give me 1 second here. Get things all set up here. Gotta switch my computer back over. I closed the window by accident, getting it all set back up. I will be with you momentarily, and then we will get the next order of business taken care of. Hold on a second. Hopefully everybody's having a good start to your Thursday. Week ago today. All right. Get in here. So we got 7, 8 people watching. Thummies up, thummies up, thummies up for me. I see the 5 thumbs up in the stream. A little bit lower than where we usually are by this time, but that's okay. Sometimes things come up and people can't be here all the time. I want to hear a plane today, Donald. We will see. It's a little bit cloudy and overcast, but I did hear the planes earlier this morning. He's good. Just being at the hospital for half the day drains him. All right there, Michael. Thanks for keeping us updated on your dad. Do appreciate that for sure. Why is my computer doing that? Okay, hold on a second. I kind of keep both computers keeping an eye on things. So, yeah. Get everything up to date here. All right, I think that's good to go. Get the chat regulated and up to date here. All right, first order of business. I need to go to my wheel of names and get our free entries today. I had a super chat for $1 so far. That gave Cardinals fan 1990 an entry into the January giveaway. Only tomorrow and Saturday left for that. So we will continue to move forward here. But let me get into the wheel of names real quick. Get the new names. Cardinals fan got 1. FJ the King has 4 entries. Bibster gets 3 entries. And SSP Cards gets 1. Okay. Let me go down the bottom here. Tampa Bay Bucks fan and St. Louis Cardinals fan 1990. Cardinals fan 1990 keeps changing his name. I guess he's just trying to keep us on our toes. And that's what we knows. FJ the King has 4. Let me get his 4 entries in, and I'll give you the current count on how many entries we have for the month of January. All right, that gives FJ the King. Let me get the Bibsters in here. The Bibsters of all things wax packed gets 3. All right, get down here, add these 3 in, and then SSP card breaks. SSP Cards, I think that's his channel name now. SSP Jonathan also gets an entry. So that looks like it gives us a total of 418. Oh, my word. There's so many names on my wheel, it just looks, it makes you, because it's spinning, it makes you feel like you're dizzy. All right, let me get this saved. And it's funny. So many people are using these wheel of names for their, that they increased it from 500 to 1,000 entries you can have on your wheel. Is a super chat required to enter? Brian, not necessarily. It's not necessarily required. Check out my About Me tab, and it does tell you the 3 different ways. Of course, my Patreon members automatically get monthly entries depending on their tier level. My channel members at the beginning of the month, if they show up as a channel member, they get entries for their tier in the giveaways. And then if you are in the live stream for the very first minute when I go live, so like when I go live at 10 o'clock, everybody that comes in chatting when the live starts, that gives you free entries. So you can say, hi, enter, Donald, enter, how are you, enter. So you can try and get as many chats as you can into the chat stream on the live. So like the ones I did here outside of Cardinals fan, FJ and Bibster and SSP all chatted during the first minute of the live stream, so they got free entries into the stream. So that's how you can gain entries into the stream. But a super chat is just a way of showing your support and donation to the channel. So if somebody gives me $1 super chat, you get 1 entry. If you give me a $5 super chat, you get 5 entries into the wheel. I've had a few that have gone higher. It doesn't happen too often, but in lieu of everything, that's just me. And then depending on how many entries are in the wheel, that's the type of prize I'll give away. The Bibster of all things waxed packed. FJ, can you drop my link, please? Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to do something here. Let's see. If FJ can't do it, let me see if I can take care of it there, Bibster. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm working on it there, Bib. The Bibster. I think I might be able to get it. Hold on. Watch me. By the time I get back to the stream, FJ will have probably put Bibby's link in there. I'm getting back there. I'm getting back there. I'm doing this really quick. Here we go, everybody. Here comes... oh, wait, hold on. Let me go up here. There we go. At the Bibsters of all things wax pack. There's his link to his channel. He does have a... there we go. FJ got it too. We both got it there, Bibster. So that is a couple different ways to get into it. It can be a video that FJ put up there, but the one... Oh, you could have left that there, FJ. You didn't have to do that. But yeah, that is for Bibster's home start page, so you can get into his channel. Okay. So other than that, there you go. Yeah, you can leave that link in there, FJ. That's fine. So we were both doing the same thing at the same time. So I've got everything saved here now for the monthly giveaway. Thanks for those who were first in the live chat. Thank you, Cardinals fan 1990, for your super chat. And other than that, we are good to go. So I've got 2 things in the lineup. Not a whole lot today, but we can... let's see if... Okay, I'm going to add in a 3rd item of interest, and we'll do it between the Tombstone Super Pro Series mini set of 30 cards. And then I'll make an announcement, maybe 2 announcements, maybe more, we'll see. I put someone else's link by accident. I deleted it. Oh, okay. I understand there, FJ. But yeah, so we'll do this mini set for 1994 Tombstone Pizza Super Pro Series. Okay, we'll go through that. Then I'll have a couple announcements, and then we'll get into the Bibsters of all things wax packed family mail call package, part 10 of 12. So we got part 11 tomorrow for our Hall of Fame Friday series, and then part 12 just prior to the sale on Saturday. Okay, in the linked comment on this stream here, you can see my information there for my sale on Saturday. My PayPal had collected that set for me when I was a kid. My PayPal had collected that set for me when I was a kid. Papa. My papa had collected that set for me when I was a kid. Oh, there you go. Oh, this one here, the Tombstone card set. Autocorrect. Oh, don't worry, Michael. I've had that happen to me a lot of times for sure. All right. A lot of times for sure. Sorry about that. All right. So we will get into this, and then I'll make a couple of announcements in regards to what we've got going on this week. And then, other than that, we might just chit chat in the channel for a little bit. And then we will go on. At Donald, box 5 is filling up nicely. Heavy box. Oh my word. The Bibster's getting February's box ready. Let's see, we had October, November, December, January. We got box number 5 coming up here. And he says it is filling up nicely. Just as a side note, not that it's super important because I try and catch most of the chats. When you do just part of the channel name, it doesn't work to highlight who's hollering out there. But that's just, it doesn't highlight it unless you use the complete channel name. I know it's hard to say Donald Blomdahl at by God's grace. When you're on a computer, it makes it easy because if you start typing it in, it'll say, is this the one you want? And you can click on it and it'll put it in the chat for you. But other than that, it won't take too long to go through this set here. Actually, here, let me move this up forward so we can get the cards a little bit closer here. And then as we go through the cards, I'll move them over to this one so you know what we're doing here. So we do have card 1 here. And then I'll show you the front and the back on the first one. 1994 Tombstone Super Pro Series Tombstone Pizza. Jeff Bagwell with the Houston Astros. All right. He is card number 1 of 30. This is what the back of the cards look like. In case you're wondering, they have a photograph of like a portrait shot of the player. You have an action shot usually on the front. Then you have their stats here. You have their Tombstone Pizza stats here. 1991, 2 and 3 with the Astros. This looks like it's probably a third-year card of this small subset of 30 cards in this set. When I did get this one in the mail, it did have some stickage on the photography here, because these are, I'd say, semi-glossy type cards. I'll take it out of the plastic. Sometimes you get a glare on plastic, but they are. There you go. These were available 1 card per pizza. So back in the day, you'd have to eat about 30 pizzas to get a whole set. That's provided. I don't know. Did they do it like every week? They put a new card in the pizza. I don't know how the distribution went exactly on the set. I didn't check all of that out, but that was card number 1 of 30. I'll go ahead and put those there as we go through here. Next one up to bat is Jay Bell with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jay Bell with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I could get 2 awesome things, a pizza and cards. All right, there we go. Tombstone Pizza. Card number 2 of 30. Again, Jay Bell with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Moving on to card number 3. We got Barry Bonds here. Most Valuable Player. 1993. Barry Bonds with the San Francisco Giants. Barry Bonds with the San Francisco Giants. Okay. Card number 3. Then we've got card number 4 was Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla with the New York Mets. Tombstone Pizza card. I know they made think some 7-Eleven sets, probably McDonald's. Did McDonald's ever have baseball cards? I think I kind of remember something about that. But we've got card number 5 here. Andres Galarga with the Colorado Rockies. Andres Galarga with the Colorado Rockies. I can put these here like this and highlight the backs of the cards just a little bit so you can see the portrait shot and the action shot. Michael, he says he don't recall. Maybe the Bibster, our baseball and local card shop owner in the past, knows the deal on that one. Then we've got Mark Grace with the Chicago Cubs. Mark Grace with the Chicago Cubs. Yeah, I remember Kellogg's cereal, Post cereal, I think Wonder Bread, Mother's Cookies, I think Pepsi. I don't know if Coca-Cola did anything like that. I know Pepsi did. I'm trying to think the different oddball type sets that were out there back in the day. But Mark Grace, first baseman for the Chicago Cubs. Card number 6 there. Moving down the row here. Marquis Grissom with the Montreal Expos, whom are now the Washington Nationals. There we go. Hostess Twinkies. There we go. Post cereal. But Tombstone Pizza here. Marquis Grissom, center fielder for the Montreal Expos. Here we go. Kevin's card collecting and more. His star player, Tony Gwynn with the San Diego Padres. Tony Gwynn with the San Diego Padres. Card number 8 of 30. Right fielder, Tony Gwynn for the San Diego Padres. All right. Next up to bat, Brian Harvey. Brian Harvey with the Florida Marlins. Brian Harvey with the Florida Marlins. Pitcher for the Florida Marlins, Brian Harvey. So this is a nice little 30-card set. That's an oddball type set. Greg Jeffries with the St. Louis Cardinals. Okay. The Bibster, here's the plane flying around in the backyard. Yeah, he's going to drop off. He's got another special delivery for me today. But yeah, Greg Jeffries, first baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals. Card number 10 of 30. And these are facsimile autographs. These are not actually autographed on here. They're printed on the cards in case anyone's wondering there. Next up to bat here, we've got card number 11. David Justice with the Atlanta Braves. David Justice with the Atlanta Braves. On the back of the card, we've got here David Justice, right fielder for the Atlanta Braves. You can see some of the spots on this card. It was one of the ones that did get a little bit of a stickage. They were sticking together when I broke them out of the complete set package they were in. All right, next up to bat, I remember John Kruk back in the day. John Kruk for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I grew up in New Jersey, the Philadelphia Phillies were my favorite team. I never was a Twinkie eater, said Michael Heath. All right. So John Kruk, first baseman for the Philadelphia Phillies. Card number 12 of 30. Next up to bat here, boom, Hall of Famer Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin with the Cincinnati Reds. Then we've got the back here, Barry Larkin, shortstop for the Cincinnati Reds. Card number 13 of 30. All right. Fishman's package is parachuting to me. Yeah, John. Like you said, it said it was going to be delivered yesterday for me, but I did not get the package. But that's okay. I'm sure it's going to show up sometime this week. and we'll see what happens there. Hopefully it shows up tomorrow. If it's here on Saturday, I'll probably end up doing it next Tuesday, because that'll probably work out better for me, because then Bibster's package will be done. Chuck Dupree, Sports Cards. Hey, everyone. How you doing, Chuck? Thanks for popping into the stream there. Appreciate you being here. I just sent out a little package for you. It's just got a few bonus items in there. Nothing you ordered and nothing spectacular. But I think you'll like the few items I sent to you. I kind of wanted to get it on the way to you. Plus, I had to have a first-class package in my package pickup for today. So, because I had erroneously reported it the other day. Of course, I have a priority for something that got ordered on eBay. But Greg Maddux with the Atlanta Braves, 1993 Cy Young Award winner, is what they say on the bottom of the card here for Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux, a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, card number 14 of 30. Okay, next up to bat, we've got Hall of Famer Mike Piazza with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Chuck saying, hello, Bibby. How are you doing, brother? So Mike Piazza, and this says he's a 1993 Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. Card number 15 out of 30. Mike Piazza, catcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. All right. Let's see if I can straighten these up a little bit on the stand, make room for the last 15 cards here, if it stays there. Nope. One by one, they're sliding back down. Next up to bat is Jim Abbott. Jim Abbott with the New York Yankees. A ton of for the Tatis. All right. And then, of course, Jim Abbott, pitcher for the New York Yankees. You can see right here on his chinny chin chin, he got a little bit of card stickage action there, and a little bit up here in his hat and eyebrow area. Looks like he forgot to shave that day, or maybe you might think, it looks like he shaved, but he had the little stickers all over the place because he shaved and got a little bit rough on the edges there. But card number 16 of 30. Next up to bat is Albert Bell. Albert Bell with the Cleveland Indians. All right. Albert Bell, left fielder for the Cleveland Indians, number 17 out of 30. As we get closer to the end of the set here. Next, we've got up to bat Cecil Fielder with the Detroit Tigers. Cecil Fielder with the Detroit Tigers, first baseman. Card number 18 of 30. That's right. Thummies up, thummies up, thummies up for me if you can. See if we can get the double digits before we get into Bibster's family mail call. See what kind of sweetness Bibster sent to me in these next two packages. I know you think those aren't sealed, but I have good patience and everything in there. I have not peeked in any of these. Otherwise, I would not have any suspense in what comes out in them. But Juan Gonzalez, Juan Gon with the Texas Rangers. And this next card here, number 19 of 30, Juan Gon, left fielder for the Texas Rangers. All right, next up to bat is Mike Greenwell with the Boston Red Sox. Mike Greenwell with the Boston Red Sox. Card number 20 of 30. Mike Greenwell, left fielder for the Boston Red Sox. And boom, we got a hit for me. Ken Griffey Jr. with the Seattle Mariners. There we go. We got a Ken Griffey Jr., Seattle Mariners. And we know that he was a center fielder for the Seattle Mariners. Ken Griffey Jr., Tombstone Pizza here. This is his 5th year card. Gave you a thumbs up. These Tombstone cards look pretty nice. Those card sets and food were always fun to build. Or hard to build. Gotta buy a ton of the item, and getting duplicates is common. Thank you, Donald. I look forward to seeing what you sent. I'm sure it's awesome. So there we go. Card number 21 of 30. I know, Chuck, I probably could have waited till Saturday for the sale and stuff, but I just wanted to get it on its way to you. So that way you'll have it probably not Saturday, but probably Monday you'll get it in the mail. We'll see how quick the little first class package gets to you. Next up to bat here, we've got Jack McDowell with the Chicago White Sox, 1993 Cy Young Award winner. Jack McDowell, pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. Shout out to Chuck Dupree here for this one for the Chicago White Sox. You can see he's got some of that stickage action there in his beard, where the front of the card was sticking to these. That's why I penny sleeved all of them when I got these in, and to keep them separated. Next up to bat we've got here is Jeff Montgomery with the Kansas City Royals. Jeff Montgomery, you can see some of the white on the edges here does detract some of the value of a card, but I mainly do it so I have this set. So this is Jeff Montgomery, pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, card number 23 of 30. The Kid, there we go, Ken Griffey Jr. Next up to bat, we've got John Olerud. He played not only for the Toronto Blue Jays, but he did pay play for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Seattle Mariners. I don't know if he played for other teams, but an awesome player there. I got a John Olerud relic card that I got autographed by him. So this is John Olerud, first baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays. You didn't buy them for value. You got them for your own enjoyment. That's true too. Yes, for my own enjoyment. To share them on the channel with my channel subscribers. That's for sure. Oh, Brian says, mail lately is either fast, normal, or delayed. Not a lot of consistency, but it's all good. Packages do arrive eventually. Given what's happening in the world, I'm okay with it. That's right, Brian. Understand what you mean there. Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer for the Minnesota Twins, is our next card. Kirby Puckett, center fielder for the Minnesota Twins. Card number 25 of 30. Next up to bat is Mr. Blue Eyes, Cal Ripken Jr. Cal Ripken Jr. My second favorite PC player. Ken Griffey Jr. is my first. Cal Ripken Jr. is my second. Probably between Randy Johnson and Ichiro is my, well, maybe not. I do got lots of Yusei Kikuchi rookie cards, but we'll leave that for another day. Cal Ripken Jr. with the Baltimore Orioles. Of course, Cal Ripken Jr. was a shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles. This is card number 26 of 30. That's right. And buying and collecting for your own enjoyment is what it's all about for sure. Exactly. Next up to bat, we've got Tim Salmon here. Tim Salmon with the California Angels, 1993 Rookie of the Year. Tim Salmon, right fielder for the California Angels, card number 27 of 30. Okay. Next up to bat here is card number 28, Ruben Sierra with the Oakland Athletics. I love the Conlon cards, Brian. I'd love to get all the sets one day. one of these days I will be going through, that is a long series, but I do have a complete set of the Conlon cards. In case you're wondering there, Chuck, that's going to be a lengthy video series for sure. I'll have to break it down. And probably the Bibster's familiar with the Conlon series too, probably. I actually have a book on the Conlon also. I have a bunch of packs of Conlon. Some sent me in a bundle of packs and boxes. Need to rip them open. So there you go. Ruben Sierra with the Oakland Athletics, right fielder for the Oakland Athletics, card number 28 of 30. Uh-oh, here we come. Here comes the big hurt. The big hurt. Frank Thomas with the Chicago White Sox there, Chuck. Frank Thomas with the Chicago White Sox, the big hurt. I'd rather have the Conlon sets than a lot of the new ones. Yeah, oh, that's what I have. That's what I have, the original Conlon sets. Yep. The big hurt. There you go. Frank Thomas, first baseman for the Chicago White Sox. Card number 29 of 30. And rounding up this 30 card set is Robin Yount, Hall of Famer Robin Yount with the Milwaukee Brewers. I meant instead of sets nowadays. Oh, okay. Yeah, it has a lot of, the photography is what is awesome back in the day in the Conlon sets, that's for sure. I could probably do, yeah, it'd probably take a month or two to get through that series. I have the different sets for the different years that they were created, and it was a continuation type set. Bibster probably knows for sure how many cards total are in the Conlon collection, but it is a large set of cards for sure. So Robin Yount, center fielder for the Milwaukee Brewers, is card number 30 in this set. So let me, what I'm going to do for now is I keep these in a team bag. I'm going to put these back in a team bag and kind of set them on the back burner here real quick. If my team bag will cooperate with me. Let me see if I can scoot that out of the way real quick. Yeah, I meant instead, yeah, I think I believe it's a 5-year set. If my memory serves me correct there, Bibster. So there we have it. We have the complete set here for the Conlon I got Conlon collection on my mind now from there. So let me set this right here. I will get my other two stands out to get ready for Bibster's family mail call here. And again, I'll set these up and he'll surprise me with something different inside these. And then I'll have to rearrange my stands. But that's okay. It's all just pomp and circumstance at this time. All right. Let me get a sip of water here real quick before we get into our continuing content here. There we go. Now I've got that out of the way. There goes another airplane. The Bibster, of all things, wax back. That's why Bibster wasn't answering me. He says, I'm back. Sorry. That's okay, Bibster. I don't expect people to stay in here all the time if they can't. Things come up. You might want to go check your mail. You might want to do something. That's for something else there. Put that here. Are you by one of the airports there? Oh, yeah. Yes, I am, Brian. We have a municipal airport. once a year they do an air show. Of course, last year in 2020 they didn't do their air show. Usually takes place in July. And then when that's the case, last year, of course, in 2019 when I started my YouTube channel, um, you would hear a lot more airplanes flying. But with everything that's gone on in the world today, we don't really have too much action. People get out there and it's just all the small, there are small jets that land here. Mostly some like small Lear jets that don't need a big runway. But it's mostly uh, small individual prop planes or maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 passenger airplanes that fly in and out of the municipal airport here. Sometimes people will go to the airport here and fly to Seattle or Everett to catch their flights. But other than that, yeah, that's what you mainly hear flying around, the little single propeller or double propeller airplanes flying around. That's why you can hear them buzzing. That's for sure. So other than that, now, oh, that's right. Wait a minute before I get into this. I did want to make some announcements really quick. I got a quick question for those that are in the chat, and if you would like to respond, that's fine. But does anybody out there sell baseball cards on eBay? If you do, or if you have in the past, or if you'd like to in the future, give me a thumbs up real quick. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a thumbs up in the chat so I can see you're interested here. Everett Airport is really taking off. Would be a nicer alternative compared to SeaDac. Oh yeah, a matter of fact, we were supposed, there you go, Bibster's got his thumbs up. Chuck, the pre-sports cards, has got his thumbs up. I'm going to eventually. Okay, well, eBay and the sports card community has just got a big deal from I'm picky about who I buy from on eBay. Well, yeah, that's true. But you know how expensive it can be to sell one baseball card on eBay, right? And then you have to pay like $2 or $3 shipping to send it to somebody so you have tracking. Well, eBay has finally came on board with the big sports card collecting community, and we now have plain white envelope with tracking. Yep, you heard me right. I got my notification on my eBay store from at Michael, would you buy from me? Yeah, so as long as it meets the maximum thickness of 0.25, which is a quarter of an inch, so the package can be a quarter of an inch thick, which isn't very thick, as long as I know who I'm dealing with and 100% on feedback. There you go, exactly. But so I got just the one slide here, but so you can send one single card if you have it listed on eBay and pay only 51 cents for plain white envelope with tracking. You'll just have to print out the tracking label and put it on your envelope. And it helps with those 99-cent card buys. That's right. So you can list a card for 99 cents and then pay 51 cents. Then you're only paying $1.50 for the card, which isn't too bad if you're, say, trying to finish or complete a set or just trying to get certain cards. So you will see a lot of eBay sellers. Now, the only stipulation they have, I don't have, oh wait, here, I can give you the rates real quick. I think I took a picture of it when I was on my eBay the other day. Dun, dun, dun. Where'd I put that? I think, is it this one? Nope. Yeah, there it is. Here we go. So I'll show you. This is what the rates are for shipping starting today, which was yesterday. Start shipping today. So if it's a 1-ounce envelope, you can ship it for 51 cents. If it's a 2-ounce envelope, you can ship it for 71 cents. And you can only go up in a plain white envelope to 3 ounces, which would cost 91 cents. So on average, you could send a couple cards for probably less than $1 to somebody. Okay? So the only stipulation with this is these are the dimensions that you have to use for your plain white envelopes with tracking. Okay? So the envelope can't be more than, for the small envelopes, can't be more than 5 inches wide or 3.5 inches high. Okay? And these would follow, it just depends on the weight. And remember, it can only be 1/4 inch maximum thickness of the envelope. If it goes over that, then you have to pay package rate. And a maximum weight of 3 ounces. Okay? All right. And then the larger one they have here can be 11.5 inches wide and 6.125 inches tall. And this would not go through a letter sorting machine. This would go through like the machines they use in the post office for magazines and larger flat envelopes. Okay, so then the prices, of course, go into effect for these 3 types is the same thing. 1 ounce is 51 cents, 2 ounces is 71 cents, and 3 ounces is 91 cents. So that helps the single card sellers on eBay immensely. I got to go in and update a whole bunch of my listings or take them down and list them back up. So the standard size small or long envelopes is what it's for. Exactly. And you have to remember they can only be 1/4 inch thick. So I'll give you a visual just so you know. So here's a little ruler here. So 1/4 inch. So there you got your 1/2 inch size. So 1/4 inch is not very big. Okay? It's like an average thumb is probably an inch wide. At least mine. I have smaller hands though. But so 1/4 inch, you can see this inch broken down into quarters. That's the thickness of the envelope. The reason for that is for it to go through their machines. Okay, for it to go through their machines on the letters. So these letters will come in with your letters that you get in the mail from the post office. Yes, no, it's not a Stanley. It's just a cheapo. I think I found this one somewhere or something. It's a Performance Tough 30-foot by 1 inch. So yeah, it's 1 inch wide this way. So 1/4 of the size here. Sorry, it's not a Stanley. I'm not a real big tool guy, but it's just a inexpensive. I use that when I measure my dimensions of my packages so I can get the right dimensions on when I put it there. My fingers are about a 1/2 inch. Hit them with a hammer all the time. I can buy a single card and not have to worry about theft. Yep, that's right. It'll have tracking on it for the person that shipped it, and you'll know when you received it if you get your informed delivery from the post office. So the only thing you have to do is when you go into your listings on eBay, here I will show you real quick on on eBay, how you would go in here and do this, okay? I'll show you real quick here. So I'm going to resume this. This is a draft of just so I have something to go by. So when you go in on your eBay to list your item up, for those that do that, you go into your shipping details. Right now, they had to update this. So you have to go in. As far as I can tell, this is the only way. So if you use another secondary shipping, I don't know. I haven't tried it with my stamps.com account yet to see if I can get a letter rate with shipping or not. But you go into when you set up your when you set up your listing for your item, you choose letter rate here. So let me see if I can zoom in on this anymore. There we go. You go into here. I'm giving you a little training lesson here. This is bonuses I like to do on the channel sometime for those that are here. You go in here and you choose the package type. So a package or thick envelope will be package rates. So if you chose this, you'd have to pay $2 to $3. And by the way, when you use these letter or large envelope rates, these cannot be bubble wrap envelopes. They just have to be plain letter envelopes. So what I recommend is I wouldn't use a top loader per se. I would use a card saver because it actually weighs less than a top loader. If you take a top loader and a penny saver and a card saver, you will notice they are much lighter in weight. I would put it in a card saver, blue tape it so it doesn't come out, put it in a piece of paper, put it in the envelope, and then mail it. That should get through there. Very few instances will they get chewed up, but if it does, at least it's a smaller transaction. If you did have to do a refund, you're only going to maybe be a 99. And by the way, the card values will only be insured up to $20. So one thing you want to do on there is when you do it through eBay, they're going to know how much they paid for that item. So if you say, oh, it was a $20 card and you only sold it for $2, that's the only insurance that you would have on there would be $2 if something happens to the package. Okay? But yeah, letter or large envelope for the plain white envelope with tracking. If you use package or large package, these will be package rates. A package rate here or thick envelope. So if it goes over a 1/4 inch thickness, if you're trying to send it plain white envelope and you do it with a bubble mailer, if you do it with a stamps.com or through eBay, they will charge your account for the package rate if you go over the 1/4 inch limit. So don't try and cheat the system. Trust me, the post office won't let you do that. Okay? They actually have these go through machines and they can weigh the envelope, and if it's over and does not meet the parameters, they can charge your postal account. So they do have means and ways to charge you the difference of everything involved there. So then once you get this, you put the dimensions of your envelope that you're mailing it in so they know it meets. So if this one here was an 8 by 6 by 1, that would be fine. But actually, this would have to be like a 0.25 for thickness on one of them. Okay? And that would take, you'd have to have that 0.25. So if you did the, you'd want to get into your template when you create card listings, your parameters here for a 3.5 by 5 by 0.25. You'd want to have your parameters for your letter envelope. Or if you use like the regular long envelopes, like a regular letter envelope, oversized one, that's all I would do there would be to just put in the size of the regular envelope, whether it's a 3 by 5 or a 8 by 4, whatever your envelope size is, as long as it meets those parameters, boom, boom, boom. All right, and then you go in and you list your product, list the item, and then you'll have the cheaper information there, okay? So other than that, boom, boom, boom. What's the fee down here? What's that saying? Oh, subtitle. Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to make sure that's off. Oh, okay. They have in the template here. They have an XXX. You pay a dollar 50 if you want to have a subtitle for your listing. That's why. Now you go down here. The fees would be 0 if it's in your parameters for your store. All right. So that's a down and dirty plain white envelope update for those in the channel that want to save money. And then all you have to do is make sure that your person you're buying the card for has their listings updated. Okay. If I buy a card worth $20 or more, you better believe I want a bubble mailer. Well, then you can't do it on the cheap postage. Just so you know that. Of course, then if you're buying a card worth $20, you probably want to pay the $3 the $2, $3, or $4 shipping charge, so that it's covered then with the parameters they have in place. So that's the only thing there. Okay. Donald, knowledge is power. Exactly. So that takes care of my brief intermission there. In case you're wondering what's going on. So let me go back down here to the break table. Let me zoom back out here. Oh, come on. There we go. Zoom back out, Blomdahl. Let's get ready to go into the part 3 here. New York, New York. Not the best place to live right now. Okay, so other than that, that gives us a plain white envelope. Okay. Hey, Mr. Donald, your package is being sent. Oh, I thank you there, Huber. Appreciate that. Huber's Cards and More. Please check out Huber's channel. I haven't seen you in here much lately. You came in the other day when you told me you were sending me a package. But I appreciate your support in the channel there, Huber. All right. So without further ado, we're going to get into the Bibster's Family Mail Call, part 10 of 12. So we're going to start with part 7A first here. Let's take a peek in here. We got another stack of cards here. And let's see. Boom. Oh, my word. Okay. It's empty. Nothing else inside here. But let's go into... Oh, my word. What did he do here? Are these all hooked together? Oh, my word. Bibby. This is one sweet Randy Johnson accordion. I gotta see what's going on here. Bibby, 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 what did you do to me here? Oh my word. Ah, hold on, I gotta figure out how he did this now. Bibby, Bibby, Bibby. Randy Johnson with the... These are what? SP Authentic. Let's see what we got going on here. This is an Upper Deck product from 2007. After a stint with the Yankees, Johnson returned to Arizona in 2007 and has shown he can still bring the heat. On May 20th, 2007, Johnson took down 10 Pirate batters by ways of Ks as the Diamondbacks rolled. My word there, Bib. The Bibster. Check this out. This is a... I'm glad I ended up deciding to do that Tombstone set there, Bibby. Well, check this out, man. He's got... Oh, I got to go this way, I guess. These are all the same cards. I might have to highlight a couple of these in my sale here on Saturday. Would you be fine with that if I did that there, Bibster? Chuck, can you drop my link? Oh, okay, hold on. Let me see if I can go back here. Can I get Bibby's link again, or is it gone? I'm rolling back here. I don't know if your link's still here there, Bibster. Wait, it should be. Should be. Let me see if I can find the Bibster's link here. Oh, wait, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. Let me put the link back in here, Bib. The Bibster. There you go, Bibby. You can talk. You can chat about the new stuff you wanted to. There's the Bibster of all things wax packed. I already got it there. All right, Chuck. So boom, there you go. Thumbs up, please. Thummies up, thummies up, thummies up for me. We're up to double digits. 9 people watching, but I don't. Man, Bibby. We've got all these. This is a Randy Johnson sweetness here. Hall of Famer Randy Johnson. And look at all these. My word. We got a bunch of Randy Johnson sweetness here. My word. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's a $21, a 21 Randy Johnson sweetness cards. It's like an accordion. My word. What did you do here, Bib? The Bibster. Greg Maddox Spotlight Series is ready to be viewed. 3 parts premiering today. There we go. The ultimate Fairfield. That's for sure. Here, let me see if I can stretch this out a little bit here. In the background here. How's that sound? Oh, there we go. That's how I can kind of display it, Bibby. Looks like we got quite the show going on here. There, I'll kind of leave that right like that for now. That's one way to display it, huh? The Randy Johnson Sweetness Corral. The Randy Johnson Sweetness Corral. Oh, my word, Bibby. That was a new one. I was not expecting that at all. I had to reset my phone. My audio cut out on everything. No problem there. You missed everything we did here. But look at this Randy Johnson sweetness here for the Arizona Diamondback. Where's Kevin at? How come Kevin ain't here? He would he'll enjoy this when he sees the replay. That's for sure. So I haven't even had to use the stands yet. And that was a whole pack of cards right here. 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, I counted wrong. I guess it's 20 cards. No, it's 21. Never mind. I forgot. This one's kind of hiding here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 Randy Johnson sweetnesses. I can do that with one of my Junior Shaw rookie cards. I have 150 plus. Yeah, all he's done here is he's taped all the penny sleeves together. Oh my word, at $3 a piece, cha-ching. Oh, are these like roughly $3 cards there, Bibster? Are these like $3 cards, these SP Authentic Randy Johnson Diamondbacks? My word. Oh, wow. All right. Maybe we'll see a couple of these pop up on my sale. I like that. Oh my, where did you get that booklet? It's not a booklet. It's something Bibster put together for me. I don't know for sure if I want to open up this one now. I don't know. This one looks more normal, I think. This might be normal cards in this one. I think so. A little bit more normal, maybe. Oh, Bibby, 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 Bibby. Okay, we've got a Todd Helton. Tell you what, I'm going to leave these down here. We got a Todd Helton here. We got a Bartola Cologne. A Bartola Cologne. Looks like this is a this is a second-year card for Bartola Cologne. We got another Randy Johnson here with the Seattle Mariners. Oh, you know, well, I didn't ring it so much for that other one, but Top Stadium Club of Randy Johnson. I think I've got some of those, but Roberto Alomar. Boom. Fairfield Thursday. Roberto Alomar. All right, next up to bat here is Cooperstown card, Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds. Next up to bat here, we've got, okay, it looks like some Diamond King coming up here. And some various cards down the road here. Boom. So we've got a Chris Davis, Matt Carpenter, Freddie Freeman, Joe Sewell, Eddie Stanky, Ty Cobb. Oh, there's a Ty Cobb. There's a Fairfield Ty Cobb. Fairfield double for Ty Cobb. Max Scherzer, Fairfield, triple. Got a triple for Max Scherzer here. All right, Roger Maris. A triple for Roger Maris. Then we've got our Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson Fairfield double. Then we've got another Randy Johnson. This time he's with the Seattle Mariners. Uh-oh, and a Randy Johnson duplicate. 1, 2, 3. A triplicate for Randy Johnson. Does Fairfield always put at least one double in their boxes? It's kind of like an ongoing thing a lot of times. Maybe not all 100% of the time, but you do get at least sometimes one Fairfield double in the boxes for sure. So here we go, a Ryan Braun with the Milwaukee Brewers. A Ryan Braun. Let me get these Diamond Kings right in here. Oops, hold on. Bartola Cologne, Randy Johnson. Let's put the Diamond Kings back here for now. The Ryan Braun upper deck. Then we've got the Robin Ventura with the White Sox. Shout out to Chuck. Ken Griffey Daddy, Ken Griffey Sr. with the Cincinnati Reds. Then we've got another Todd Helton here. Ovation. Then we've got a Bartola Cologne with the Cleveland Indians. And to finish it off, another Todd Helton with the Colorado Rockies. Awesome, awesome, awesome cards. Let's see. Huber's card saying, how has your church been? We have been doing well there, Hubers. We have been doing really good. The Bibster at FJ, when dealers sold their overstock cards to Fairfield, they would a lot of times be grouped together, so their sorter pulls the dupes, but they probably missed some of them sometimes. That's what I'm guessing. So they usually probably would not have dupes, but depends on, when they got them all separated there, and then they're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or they probably had a card counter. I'm thinking, did they have a card counter that separated the cards, and it didn't really look at them and put the cards in the box and put a wax pack in the middle? So Fairfield buys cards from random people. I wish I could be a random person. I can get rid of all my base cards. Then I would have a lot more space in my room here. But this is awesome there, Bibster. Let me put Let me put the Randy Johnson here. Put this Randy Johnson here. So you can see all the Randy Johnsons surrounding me here. That was an awesome Andy Johnson sweetness back there. So, any other questions by anybody in the channel? Sorry, I'm going to break tradition here and put a different hat on today because I forgot to grab one of my hats from my hat stand. I found your son's picture in my uncle's PCC yearbook. What? I found your son's picture in my uncle's PCC yearbook. Oh, okay. You mean my son, Daniel Blomdahl? Now you know what my son looks like. Doesn't look anything like me, does he? But you probably saw the name there, didn't you? So that's right, in Pensacola. Yep. Trying to remember the year my son graduated now. Of course, he spent 4 years in college there. Actually, longer than that. He went and got his master's degree. So he got his bachelor's degree and his master's degree. Then he got his second master's degree from Bob Jones University through correspondence. So my son has a bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees. That is cool there, viewers. You found my son's picture in my uncle's PCC yearbook. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So other than that, I can't really think of anything else to talk about for today. I am still getting stuff ready for my sale. I got to go through some more cards here coming up. But other than that, yeah, this was another sweet mail call day there, Bibster. Kind of spread that one out right there. Put these 2 Ryan Brauns right about here. The Diamond Kings there, the Todd Helton's, Bartola Colognes, some Randy Johnsons, and some Cooperstown cards for Ricky Henderson, Barry Bonds, and Roberto Alomar. So those are very nice. And of course, 21 more Randy Johnsons ringing around. They're circling the camp here. The Randy Johnsons are circling the camp. Oh my word. I have been to both campuses, Brian. Oh, there you go. There you go. All right. So other than that, I can't really think of anything else to go over to end the stream today. But tomorrow we will be having our Hall of Fame Friday. And I believe tomorrow for our Hall of Fame Friday is going to be... I'm trying to remember exactly. Let me double check here and make sure what my last... Make sure I'm doing it. I'm making the right announcement. I'm pretty sure I am. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, last week was Jeff Bagwell. Tomorrow is going to be Harold Baines. Tomorrow we'll be doing the biography for Harold Baines, and I'll be showing my Harold Baines collection. So hopefully everybody enjoyed today. Let me, we're almost at 100 minutes. That means I got my hour and a half in today. Let me turn the camera around, say my signature goodbye. I know quite a few people that went to PCC and Bob Jones University. My piano teacher took my youth group to BJU for a campus tour. Oh, that is cool there, Hubers. Yeah, you're a lot closer to Bob Jones University than Pensacola, that's for sure. Woohoo! Shout out Chuck Dupree White Sox. All right. So other than that there, I'm going to turn the camera around, do my signature goodbye, and get ready to sign off for today. This has been Donald Blomdahl, Hall of Fame veteran, sports cards and collectibles, having been with you for another episode of Play Ball. Lecture number 20, American Politics and Early Baseball, the 1994 Tombstone Super Pro Series set, and Bibster's Family Mail Call Package, part number 10 of 12. So thanks for everybody being here. TMC, TMU under Johnny Mac. My dad just went to Las Vegas for a church leadership conference. Oh, really? Oh, I think I remember hearing something like about that come up. But down in Las Vegas, that's an interesting place for a church conference, that's for sure. Lost Wages, Nevada. Sorry, that's just me thinking out of the box. I don't know if I would personally do that, but you'd think they'd come up with a better place. But they probably got a good price on venues there because they're not doing much, probably. Awesome. Love me some Harold Baines. There we go. So that's going to be our Hall of Fame Friday for tomorrow. And we will be highlighting then too Bibster's package, our part number 11 of 12. And just another side note, really quick. Let me get up here back in the closest thing I have available to me. And that is, don't forget, on Saturday, my ginormous sale auction. You can see it in the pinned comment up above, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Chat and rolls. And then sale auction, 9 a.m. Chat and rolls. And then 9:30 a.m. we will start promptly with the sale. Hopefully we'll have enough people in the chat by then. If not, we might wait a little bit longer until we get enough people to commence the sale. But then again, side note is first-time buyers need to pay for their first purchase to continue in the sale. January giveaway will be announced at the end of that sale. Okay? At the end of the live stream, we will have the January giveaway. Brian McClellan says the sale will be fun. I hope so. Got a lot of cards to go through. We'll see how much of it we can go through or if we can get through it all. All right. So other than that, you all have a Chuck Dupree, Lost Wages, Nevada. I've never heard that. Oh, really? That's a big term. A big term out this on this coast, that's for sure. Lost Wages, Nevada. You go to Las Vegas to donate your wages. My pastor always calls it's a volunteer tax. When you're gambling, that's a volunteer tax. Sorry. So other than that, you all have a great and wonderful day. We'll see you all around the channels. I'll be in the chat for a minute or two if you have any more questions. As I turn things around, let me get my Lawrence Welk lick going on here with my bubbles and turn the camera around. We will see you all somewhere in the streams at times for sure. So you all take care. No taxes in Nevada because the Californians cover it. Yeah, they tax the casinos. No. All right. right. I think I got most everybody that might be still hanging out in the chat. If not, we will see you all tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel, 10 a.m. with our next Hall of Fame Friday episode, highlighting Harold Baines, his biography, and going through his cards that I can find in my PC for Hall of Fame players. Take care and have a wonderful and blessed day, and we'll see you all around the channels.